Hello, I'm Andy, and today I want to share a pretty fun build order for Spain. It's probably one of the cheesiest build order you can do, or which I showcase. It's an all-in build order featuring the church card, we will see in Zoom, and it's, yeah, as I said, it's very all-in. It's probably one of the most all-in build orders you can do as Spain. And so let's get into it. So first up, what we want to do is in H1 we want to get a TP. We skip the house, so we immediately go for the TP. We queue villager until we have 9. I think we need to queue 3 villagers. And then once we have 9, we send the 3 villager card immediately. And this will be all our economy for quite some time. So yeah, so that's all we really need to do. And what's important here, I think, is what you should focus on. You want to get the trading post pretty early. Ideally, you want to get the first batch, so the first route, and this speeds up your first shipment, and this basically speeds up everything. Yeah, so other than that, in H1 we want to focus on getting treasures. I think it's the most important treasure in H1 is food treasure. Luckily in this game I have found 2 already. But even if you get some easy coin treasures, then it's also decent. So you should get food and coin treasures basically. Coin treasures until you have 100 coin, because you need 100 extra coin for aging up. Yeah, so luckily I got 2 food treasures. I don't think you would go for wood treasures in H1. You will basically take wood treasures once you're already aging up to Fortress Age. That's why I didn't really bother with this treasure, although it's pretty nice, a pretty nice one usually. Yeah, other than that, you're really only gathering food. If you're not finding many coin treasures, you need to send like 2 villagers to coin. So because with this build order we are aging up with the 200 coin and outpost wagon, and we also send the 700 coin immediately, which means we still need 100 more coin from other sources to age up to age 3. That's why in some cases you also need to gather some coin. In this case I already have my coin I need because I found a coin treasure, so that's nice. And now what I'm looking for, so really all you need to do in this stage of the game is look out for treasures and try to get as many as possible. You also need to do the treasures without losing too many HP on your explorer, because he's pretty good, he's quite important basically. And so you really want to babysit him in H1 and 2. Now, because we have our coin, ideally we want to get more food treasures so we can age up, but at this point it's also decent if we get some wood treasures. So eventually I will get back here and get this wood treasure. I choose the route to basically scout here and see if there are more treasures, which I found. Another wood treasure, which is very good. And I think here's another wood treasure if I remember correctly. Other than that, now that our TC, or that we aged up, I did some misplay here. On accident I sent my villagers forward. You don't want to do that. I wanted to TC hop them on the crates, but I kind of had a bad waypoint because I sent my outpost forward, and so you want to place the outpost in an aggressive position. Some people also want to hide it. I don't know what's the best approach. You can also like hide it here and then attack from a side angle. It's really preference in my opinion. Other than that, in H2 we immediately send the 700 coin and then the 700 wood. And once the coin arrives, we want to use quite a few villagers to get it. And once we have our 1200 food, we will switch everything to wood, because we will need quite a lot of wood. We want to build our church, of course, because we sent the royal decree to claim the new world. And we also need some houses, otherwise we can't send our shipments. The main idea with this build order is we want to get the halberdiers out from the church card, and we also combine them with the falconets. Again, there are two philosophies of doing it. So one philosophy says, okay, let's age up with 8 pikemen, which I do, and get out the halberdiers and try to do something like maybe he doesn't have many units out, and so you maybe could kill the Rex or something. That would be like immediately GG. Or yeah, I don't know. So that's like, go as soon as you have units, and as soon as you have 1000 wood for your halberdiers. Another option would be to age up with the 8 crossbowmen or with the 4 hussars, and then wait until you wait with the halberdiers until your falconets arrive, and then you go with the falconets. Like, as soon as the falconets pop, you want your halberdiers to pop, and then you have a powerful army right at the start. So in this case, I wanted to attack as soon as possible. What I would always do is make the military forward point here. So now I have an army of 8 pikemen and 13 halberdiers, which are guard, which means they are pretty strong and are pretty dangerous on their own, just to see what's going on. Or maybe if he doesn't have units, then I can do something. But here I see bowmen. Maybe I could clean them up, but I think it's way too dangerous. So I just wait for a moment until my falconets arrive, and then I clean this army up basically with falconets. Keep in mind, with this army you do have a lot of siege. So what you want to do now is you want to use all your halberdiers and pikemen. And I think I should have limbered them here and moved them under the TC. And you want to move them as close to the TC as possible, so they don't get caught. And then the TC goes down in like half a minute or something, which is really quickly, so cannot really do much if you didn't scout it. By the way, at this point I also switched some villagers to food, so I slowly start producing villagers. But the main idea for me is to get some of these dogs, because they are also very good against all kinds of units and are just a very strong unit. Other than that, I keep a lot on wood, because I will need to build houses to send more shipments. So usually I will just send more lancers. You could also send pikemen. It really depends. You will just need houses to do that. That's why you need some villagers. Usually the Rex I build a bit later. Your economy is so shit that you can't produce much anyway, so the Rex would come in at like 9 minutes. Yeah, so again, it's an all-in build. It's meant to punish people who don't scout, and it's just, if you don't see it coming, or if you haven't seen it, it might surprise you, and you just you just die basically. But how to defend it? So in my opinion, it is pretty easy to scout, mainly because you can just click his stack and see what he has in his stack. Let me see. Yeah, like this. Sorry. So usually you can click here and see the deck, and then once you see the church card and you see an early trading post or in transition if he's gathering wood, like a lot of wood, then you can see, okay, there's an all-in coming. So what I would do is I would stay in H2, get out some units, because even the army he had combined with the militia could have been enough to just clean me up, really. And you want to fight under your TC, and you want to use your TC maybe to snipe the falconets, because that's really the dangerous part of this. And yeah, just try to get a good engagement. You can also use villagers to defend. Remember, I only have 12 villagers, or anyone doing this build won't have more than 15 villagers. So you really only need to stay in the game. And with a normal build order, you often have 20 villagers, so you can just send like 8 or 10 to sponge up a lot of the damage of the halberdiers. And yeah, once you get a cleanup, Spain is in a bit of a pickle. I mean, you can send a lot of more cards to Spain to come back, but if you're not doing significant damage, like game-ending damage, like killing 10 villagers, and maybe destroy the TC or something, then Spain is really just lost, in my opinion. So my idea to stop this build order would be to stay in H2, make units, and fight under the TC, get a good fight, and clean up as much as possible, and try to keep up as much economy as possible, and then you should be able to. You should be fine. One last thing, how to transition out of this, or maybe let's talk about a deck. So this is more of my general purpose deck. If you want to go really all in, you could even throw out like one of the crates card and put more units in. But then it's even more obvious that Spain will be doing that build order, so I don't know if I would necessarily do that. I think the 5 more unit cards should be enough to put up a lot more pressure. And yeah, once you have a bit better economy, you should be starting to get barracks and get some skirmishers maybe, and then try to transition out of here. But really, if you're getting cleaned up and you don't do significant damage, then you can probably just give up. But if you're maybe cleaning up the TC but you lost your army while doing so, you can definitely fight on and have a low eco game, which are also fun. So it can create really good games. Yeah, so you should be aware of the build order if you see Spain, and that's how I do it. And I think it's pretty fun. It's pretty cheesy, and you can climb a lot, especially in lower levels where people might not know everything about this game. So yeah, thanks for watching, and let me know how the build went for you, and see you guys around. Bye bye.